Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob has a podcast, and now here's the guy who didn't even get to do one challenge. Rob Sister, hello everybody, welcome back. Claim to Fame Season 2 is back. We are back. And the two people that put Claim to Fame on the map are back with you. Here she is. My famous co-host, Jenny Autumn.
I feel like as the Jenny on the panel, I have to say, run, Carly, run!
What great product placement. What a great sponsorship for the recent Robin Akiva Need a Podcast Forrest Gump movie commentary. Thanks a lot, Carly.
We are Hanks heavy at this time.
Yes. Okay, we're live after Monday night, the premiere of Claim to Fame Season 2. We just saw Carly revealed as the niece of Tom Hanks. What do you think Tom Hanks's reaction is at this hour, Jenny?
Listen, if you know Chet Hanks, then
you know what? Not even the most embarrassing Hanks family member.
This is like nothing. And in fact,
so true.
My take is that I need to know the exact relation of Chet Hanks and Carly. I don't know if she is Carly Hanks, but there is some sort of similar gene definitely between these two. So I think that, like, you know, when Chet Hanks exists in the world, you couldn't possibly embarrass Tom Hanks more. So, you know, Carly was playing with house money, but she did an incredible job with the house money that she had. This was incredible.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. We got Tom Hanks revealed as the first celebrity. Pretty good A-lister.
Yeah, I mean, the teaser, you know, I think I mentioned this when we did our Why You Should Watch Claim to Fame Season 2. The teaser said A-listers, and I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. We came out strong. Like Carly is not lying when she's like, you know how sometimes, you know, the relatives are like, my relative is like very, very like big name. And like, I mean, the celebrities last season were all pretty big names, but like, you're coming out of the gate with Tom Hanks. Like that is real. Like when she says he is one of the biggest actors in the world, she was not lying. That was not one of the lies.
Not lying. And we'll talk about whether or not she has a case to be angry, whether or not they made it too obvious that it was going to be Tom Hanks here. The bench. She's upset about the bench. Could anything else have been the bench?
I mean, she's like, there's no other movies with benches.
What about the bench warmers?
That's a stretch, I guess. I don't know. It's like that's such a big, you know, film that they're like, we'll put a bench there.
Yeah. So, okay.
My name's Forrest Gump.
Okay.
They just needed a box of chocolates literally right beside the bench just to make that much more obvious.
Claim of Fame is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. All right, Carly? You can step into the Claim to Fame house.
And I'll tell you what she didn't get. More screen time.
More screen time.
She rightfully said she deserved.
Okay. So we have a lot to get to here tonight. A couple of pieces of business. We are here live tonight after the recap. Let's see what the reaction is to Claim to Fame live after the episode. Pretty hearty audience joining us here live after the episode. So happy to have you here on board. If you're listening to us in the archives, you can subscribe, and we appreciate your ratings and reviews. You can go to robinsonwebsite.com/fame feed to get all of our Claim to Fame podcasts. Who knows, Jenny? Maybe interviews along the way. Last season, we talked to Logan at the end of the season, and so maybe we'll get some interviews along the way. And so a lot of fun stuff. Jenny, what'd you think of episode 1 of season 2?
It was so good. Like, you know, we saw definitely some cast members more than others, but I'm feeling very positive about the cast. There are a lot of standouts for me. I think there's a lot of people like giving us good energy. Like Gabriel is a standout star to me after episode 1.
Gabriel, send him into the Big Brother house right after this. Gabriel, incredible casting.
So good.
Star.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that like in the first episode we got a few people where I'm like, okay, like I feel very good. I think actually like overall, I'm feeling like it is a stronger cast. I think that like last season's cast had like a few really, really like big heavy hitters that were doing a lot of the like the heavy lifting. And then like there were a few other like people that were just like they were, supporting roles. Whereas I just think that like overall it's a stronger cast. I think do we have like an even gender balance this time? Because I think that we had like no women we had no men last season.
We had very few. I think it might have been like 8
and we lost.
Yeah.
It's the one show where the men go early.
Yes. Okay. Maybe not this season. Maybe we'll buck the trend. Okay. So we're gonna go through everything here tonight, and so I think we should go through the cast, talk about everybody, all the clues we learned, some early suspicions. Unlike Claim to Fame season 1, Jenny, we didn't get anybody de facto like coming out the gate. I am this person's relative.
Yes. So this was the thing that in the preseason press, this was the one twist of the season that we knew about, that, we were going to be along for the ride with the contestants, only finding out who the relatives are when they are guessed. So that was interesting. I will say, and I don't know if this counts as a spoiler, but I knew that someone was related to Tom Hanks going into the premiere. So there was Kevin and Franklin did an interview with some article. So there was some article. I didn't even read the whole article. It was screenshot. A section was screenshot and sent to me. Shout out to Natalie Franklin, another famous Franklin in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they were giving guesses on like one of the famous people that would be on the season, and it was like, so they're like, oh, one of the first like celebrities that caught COVID, and then like a couple other like clues, and then they're like, if you haven't guessed it by now, it's Tom Hanks. So I knew that apparently someone on this cast was going to be related to Tom Hanks. So I was like, so I mean, I will say that did kind of like, impact.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that. There was like that one night. No, I'm just remembering like that one night where it was like, oh my God, what's going on with coronavirus? What is it? And like, oh my God, did you hear Tom Hanks? They got Tom Hanks. No,
like no one wants that.
No, not Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Like universally beloved. So
was there a clue to COVID-19 on the clue wall?
No, we were only going for the most obvious clues for Tom Hanks. We were doing the freaking bench, the Apollo 13 spaceman.
Oh, you think that was it? Apollo?
No.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Well, and we can discuss this further, but like I think that if they are smart.
By the way, we can bring the clue wall up. That Sam Moore is standing by with the clue wall.
Yeah, we should at some point. But I want to know what you think about this, Rob. Like, they're probably putting clues up there that could be applied to numerous people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they were smart, I think that like obviously some are going to be very clearly about one person only. But I think like if you can find a common thread between a couple different people, like. That's great. Like if there truly was Buzz Aldrin in the relative in the house, and also Tom Hanks, like it's great to have the astronaut, because
they're gonna really have a Buzz Aldrin on Claim to Fame and Neil Armstrong on Stars on Mars.
I know, right?
Come on. No way.
They've done too much.
Yes. I bet that astronaut is like somebody won like an MTV movie award.
That's literally what Phil said when we were watching it. He was like, that's an MTV movie award. I was like, oh, that is true. That is what that looks like.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I do think that like the clues for Tom Hanks were very, very obvious. So I knew going in that someone was going to be related to Tom Hanks. It was very quickly obvious to me that it was going to be Carly. So I was like along for the ride on like, okay, how long does Carly last? And as much as I would have loved to get more of her, the fun for me this season is not knowing everything. Like, so I am glad that the one thing that I knew going into tonight is dealt with, and now I am back,
You
with
are
everyone else.
Hankful.
Yes, I'm so
Thankful.
thankful.
Yeah. Okay. And just any other big picture thoughts on season 2 versus season 1?
I mean, the ending of the premiere of season 1 was shocking. We were
Great premieres
blindsided.
on Claim
It
to
was a
Fame.
great premiere. So there were big shoes to fill, but I think they were filled. And
Mama said they were my magic shoes. They would take me anywhere.
And it did take us anywhere. It took us to wild places. I'm very grateful for the ending. It was truly like, when she was crying, I thought that was the extent of it. I was like, oh, this is awkward. She's crying. Like, I did not know where we were going to land with the screaming and the whole display. It was just chef's kiss. I loved the whole thing. I will, avoid any tinfoil hat about whether it was a little too good to be true.
We don't care. We don't care.
I don't. We said the same thing about Maxwell. We're like, was he a plant? I don't care. It was wonderful. Okay. So that is my feeling. How do you feel, Rob? Do you feel good?
Loved it. Everything about it. So happy it was back. Great first episode. Yeah. Everything was chef's kiss. Perfect. No complaints.
I actually have a lot of notes, but
yeah, we have a lot of notes. I have like 6 pages of notes to talk about.
No notes, but very many notes.
Let's go through all of our people here. I think that'll be fun just to get our initial impressions out there. I want to give a shout out to parade.com. This is actually from Matthew Huff, not our colleague Mike Bloom over at parade.com, who has Meet the Claim to Fame season 2 cast. Get your first hints about their famous relatives. That we have the full 2 Truths and a Lie. I think that's going to be kind of helpful as well as we go through. So let's talk about everybody. Let's also go through in order of appearance, but we'll also include everything that we learned about them in the episode, and maybe it might be helpful. I can then go ahead and also bring their pictures up, unless Sam Sam has this ready to go. Thank you, Sam.
All right, killing it.
All right, the first person we got to meet was Monet. Okay, Monet and her
in the
2
fluffy
truths and a
white
lie
jumpsuit.
Yes. Okay.
Not a
Here
dress.
is Monet. Her 2 truths and a lie. Her relatives are her father, occupation is an athlete, and the highest award is Emmy. I feel like that you could probably throw people off like my relative's highest award is best boss. Boss of the husband of the year.
Did they have all of the same categories last? Like, was it always the relation, the occupation, and the award? Because
I feel like that came up a lot.
I know that it came up a lot, but like,
amazing coincidence.
I thought that there were like unrelated things, and maybe I'm just misremembering, but it seemed like this was because with like when you're playing 2 truths and a lie, normally you're making up what it is, completely. It seems like, okay, it's 2 truths or a lie, but these are the categories that you have to say. And everyone abided by this. Like, what happens if, do you think that there's like no way you're related to someone famous if they haven't won some sort of award?
Every famous person has won an award. I mean, there's some of them are like real stretches. Somebody won a Critics' Choice Award.
Yeah, we did hear. Well, what is that? I don't know, but I don't know a lot of
things. My relative has won a People's Choice Podcast Award. Like,
I mean, I would like that's a thing, and I'm not going to question that.
My relative has won a Survivor Hall of Fame thermos.
I'm trying to think of like, have I won anything? this person has
One
second place
podcaster
in
of
a
the month.
RHAP sequester mini that we don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Third place in a Big Brother RHAP brand steal. See how she places tomorrow in the Survivor brand steal.
Yeah,
Someone's
join
like,
us
"What
live.
is this?"
Join us live, 7 p.m. Eastern, for that. Okay,
There you go.
so that we ended up hearing, and I'm not sure which person said it later on in the episode, that they thought that was it Carly herself that was saying that she thought that maybe Monet could be a daughter of Steve Harvey. Now I do feel like that does make some sense here. The would fit into our two truths and a lie, with her two truths and a lie being her relatives, her father, occupation is an athlete, and the award is an Emmy. I'm sure
With
Steve
athlete being
Harvey
the lie.
is would fit as her dad, and also I'm sure Steve Harvey has won an Emmy. The lie being the athlete. Where do you stand? And also, everything is family on the
Right.
clue wall. Where do you feel on Monet being Steve Harvey's daughter? Should I get the
Here's
Steve
the
Harvey
thing.
soundboard ready?
if she is related to Steve Harvey, which it can't be true if this thing isn't true, because Steve Harvey, as far as I know, is not an athlete. Lori Harvey exists, and I just don't think that people know about Steve Harvey's daughter, Lori Harvey, and I just don't think that you know Lori Harvey and you don't know Monet if Monet is also a Steve Harvey daughter.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying. I just think that like
So you
Steve
think that
Harvey
because Steve
already
Harvey,
has a
yes.
famous-ish daughter, like, so I just don't think that you could have Lori Harvey and not know about Monet as well. Because
So
like Lori
you're saying
Harvey is
she
like,
would be famous because her sister would be famous?
I think that you just like would know who she is, because like Lori Harvey is just like a well-known like name,
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't think
Okay.
that you are the sister. Like, I just don't think that you're Lori Harvey and then your sister, also very attractive if this is Monet, is not also a well-known name. You don't know Monet Harvey. So that's what makes me think, like, if she's related to Steve Harvey, she is not his daughter. She's a niece or something, which means that it can't be Steve Harvey because there's only one lie, and Steve Harvey is not an athlete, as far as I'm aware.
All right. I'm a little bit more in on this one than you
Okay.
are, but we don't have a lot of concrete evidence here. Let's keep going. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about the second person we met, and this is Jane. Jane, interesting person in the cast as we scroll through. We saw Jane played a ukulele later on in the episode. Her two truths and a lie are that her relative is her father, occupation is a musician, and has won a Grammy. Okay.
Which, like, when they do the two truths and the lie, and like the occupation and the award line up in a natural way, like, does that lead you to assume that the lie is about the relationship? Or if you're like thinking well about it, you're like, they're a musician, but they've never won a Grammy. So, but I'll say a Grammy, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
But here's the thing, and there's somebody else that we'll talk about that their person is a musician and then the award is a Grammy. And I'm like, that's so stupid. Why would you say both those things for truth and a lie? Obviously, if they're a musician, I'm like, but you win Grammys for like stand-up comedy. And
right.
people win Grammys for spoken word audiobook. So I don't know if they necessarily look. I'm not here to rank the EGOT, but let me just tell you, okay? The EGOT award, okay? Definitely Oscar is one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get canceled maybe for this take. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna rank
let her.
the EGOT. Oscar 1.
Mm-hmm.
Emmy 2. Now and then what's the Tony or Grammy?
Tony and Grammy.
I'm gonna say Boy, I feel like the Broadway
piss someone
the
off, which is
Broadway
great.
people are much more likely to cancel me than the
Tony
Grammy
people?
So,
Yeah, no one gives a
so
shit about the Grammys,
yeah,
like, at
so
all.
Tony and then Grammy, because the Grammy I feel like is like on par with is like a step up from the American Music Award.
I
There's
also think
no
that, like, the Grammys are, like, widely, like, believed to just be, like, BS.
right. So okay, Oscar, Emmy, Tony, because the Tonys mean something to a lot of people.
Yeah,
Grammy,
and I think
nobody. People just want
I
to
think
go to the
even
Grammys.
even people in music are just, like, I don't really,
Pretty
like,
sure Milli Vanilli has a Grammy.
a lot of people that maybe, like, questionably should not have Grammys, so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's yeah, no, I think you made the right at least with the last 2,
Mm-hmm. And
with the
there's like
ranking.
the CMAs, there's like music, there's a million different, there's the Source Awards, there's a
Yeah,
million different like music award shows.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's my take on ranking the EGOT here tonight. So what do we think? That we heard the name Jim Carrey, and
Mhm.
that sounded good to me. That being said, I think that is tough to. I don't know if Jim Carrey has a sorry, Freudian slip. Jim Carrey has a Grammy. That if her relative is her father, okay, we could see that, but Jim Carrey's occupation is not a musician, and I don't know if Jim Carrey has a Grammy.
Yeah, no, I don't think here's the thing, we got lots of names thrown out tonight, and I will say I'm annoyed because a few of my early guesses where I was like, "I'm smart and I have a guess," like, minutes later, someone in the show would say it, but I think that, like, a lot of the names that we got thrown out tonight are, like, very few of them are gonna stick. I just think that they're not going to give that much in the first episode that could
Mm-hmm.
be like, what's the point if, like, they want us to come along for the ride and not get a lot of like, not know who a lot of people are. So this is one of the ones that I don't personally see. Like, the explanation of Jim Carrey too for Jane was so basic. It was like, she's really funny. And you know who else
Yeah.
is funny? Like, Jim Carrey. It's like, yeah, lots of people are
Right.
funny.
Yeah, that
Like,
the source material, I think, was a little bit there was a mask and there was a bunch of animals, like, oh, that could be
right.
Ace Ventura Pet Detective. So I think that is highly doubtful right now at this point that
Yeah.
Jim Carrey is who is Jane's relative. Okay, so
And
Jane is a mystery at this point.
I haven't followed, like, Jim Carrey's personal life very closely, but, like, I don't like I I don't know. Does like he was married to Jenny McCarthy.
Right.
I don't know who else he has, like, had children with, but, like, and I also don't know. I'm really bad with ages sometimes. I don't know how old Jane is, but I just, like, I don't think that
I think Jim
Jane.
Carrey is older than you think. I think that Jim Carrey is at least 60, and I'm not sure if
So
there's a first wife
really, Jim
situation
Carrey could
with
be like my dad. And do we think Jane is around I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
Jim Carrey is 61.
and Jim Carrey could be someone in this house, but I just don't
Okay. Yeah,
know
I don't think
that
we have a lot here. Let's keep
this
going.
yeah, this one
Yeah.
seemed like a little bit of a stretch. It was like people are buying into the clues and they're like, who's funny and has, like, a little bit of that, like, changes their voice when they talk type thing that Jim Carrey does. Like, that I don't know. I just think that,
Yeah.
like, people are seeing what they want to see there.
Let's go to Hugo. Okay.
Okay.
We meet Hugo that his relative is his grandfather. Okay. He says the occupation is an athlete. We find out that is a lie,
Mhm.
and that his grandfather has won a Nobel Prize. He also refers to his grandfather as was once the most powerful man in the world. Jenny, that is a title that is normally reserved for discussing the president of the United States. He
Right.
says that this is a grandfather. I have not done a Google search of presidents of the United States that have won a Nobel Prize.
Mhm.
But I mean, are you on the same page as I am?
I mean, we got, like, our little package at the beginning, where, like, Franklin is listing, like, the types of, like, we've got Academy Award winners and Grammy, Emmy, world leaders. He said world leaders. So if Hugo is saying one of the most powerful people in the world at one point, and we heard Franklin say literally world leader, it would make sense that he could be related to a president of the United States. Which one? I don't know. I'm Canadian.
Which one? Which
like,
one? Sure. So we can rule some out. Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Yes.
He's not a Bush, right?
He could be.
He
That's
could be
that's
Bush.
certainly possible that his grandfather could be George
look like a Bush?
George H.W. Bush.
Maybe it could be a Bush.
That's possible. That I definitely, the chat has said Jimmy Carter is certainly a possibility that's out there. I think certainly we could
that would make sense.
Now we could rule out some recent presidents. We do not think his grandfather is Barack Obama.
Right. And I
do not believe Sasha Malia have children
no
of Hugo's age and complexion.
Age.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think we would know if he was a Trump.
We would know. We would know if he was a Trump. Yes, I don't. We don't need to explore that any further. Also, I'm pretty sure Donald Trump. I believe has not. I could Sam, fact check this for me. I believe Donald Trump has not won the Nobel Prize. Also. Fact check that for me.
Fact check that.
Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. They only have Chelsea as a daughter, right. And Chelsea does not have an adult child of Hugo's age. So it's certainly possible that he could be a Bush, could be a Reagan, could be a Carter, and then we get into could Richard Nixon be his grandfather? Could Gerald Ford be his grandfather? So
then we're doing math that I'm a
handful
he looks pretty young
of people.
The little paddle that they do in the photo booth with their faces.
Yeah,
it literally the photo of Hugo. It looks like a grade 3 school photo.
You know what, Sam, can I get the clue wall? Give me the clue wall. Maybe we could crack this peanut right now. Let's go to the clue wall right now. Because
I'm going to be relying on you for presidential and American politics.
Let's just see if there's anything that screams Jimmy Carter. I'm going to go full screen on the wall just so we can see. Jenny,
and Jimmy Carter is a president that I know probably very little about as a Canadian born in 1986.
So Jimmy Carter, that he is famous for peanuts. He builds houses. There's a Habitat for Humanity from Georgia.
Is that a peanut?
Do you see a peanut?
That's a peanut under
there?
that horse.
Yeah, that's okay. Yes, okay. So that's one clue for Jimmy Carter. Anything else that we see that really jumps out if we're gonna try to
baseball guy?
Not to my knowledge. And is
the peanuts enough? How much is the peanut thing a thing?
I think that's one of the things that he is famous and well known for. Otherwise, we'll see if there's anything else that we can we'll come across. But yeah, okay. Well, so let's put a pencil.
We at least
in
have peanuts.
Jimmy Carter for Hugo. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So
I feel good about that.
And his really might not even be Hugo. Who knows? Okay. And so just keep that clue wall handy. All right. After Hugo, we met Shane. Okay. Shane is somebody who did not give us much, but we found out some things about Shane tonight. Shane, who we have here, gives us 2 truths and a lie. And those 2 truths and a lie end up being, hold on, let me bring Shane back here. Okay. Try this one.
There we go.
There we go. All right. Shane, 2 truths and a lie end up being relatives or father, occupation is musician, award is a Grammy. That being said, don't find out much about Shane until we get to when we go and see
wine cellar.
Travis goes to the wine cellar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I took a picture of the clue.
So did I.
let's
I think
talk
also
about
Sam
it.
has it handy too.
Yeah, do we have it here? Because I think I
Sam,
got this. I think I got the clue. I think
and
I've
so
cracked it.
I feel like I haven't had enough time with the clue. So if you've cracked it, I want to hear
Okay,
it because
let me just reset this. I looked at this. Okay, we have a crown and then a face with a question mark
Mm-hmm.
and then some sort of like airplane route.
Yeah.
And then we have an outline of the United States
Mm-hmm. Of America.
and looks like a play button,
Mm-hmm.
a deer,
Yep.
and some grain.
Yes.
And so I looked at this for a long time. Okay. And I think I'm ready to make a projection
Rob.
here tonight.
I'm so
Okay?
ready. I'm excited.
So I was going through this a million times, and it's a deer grain. But I believe that we have that is a piece of wheat,
Okay. Yep.
and the animal is a buck.
Yep.
And so
Okay.
the second half of it was and played buckwheat.
buckwheat. Yep.
And I believe that the first half then I have translated to king who travels to America and play buckwheat. And I believe that this is the daughter of Eddie Murphy.
Wow. Incredible. Okay, what's the king who travels to America?
Coming to
part?
America.
Is that okay. Yes. I see the played buckwheat part. That makes sense to me. But
Yes.
okay,
And so
I wouldn't have gotten that.
right. And he played buckwheat on Saturday Night Live, famously in the 80s.
Wow.
And so, and then Two Truths and a Lie.
got
Our
it.
father, occupation is a musician. That's the lie.
That's
and
the
the
lie.
award is the Grammy. I'm sure that Eddie Murphy has won a Grammy for his stand-up comedy albums, which were very popular in the 80s. And
Back
so,
when like stand-up comedy albums were a thing and they weren't just like Netflix specials. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, can Travis get any of this? I don't think so.
Not on his own. And yeah, and he literally said like, if I can't figure this out on my own, I'm going to have to share it with other people.
Yes.
And I was like,
No,
yeah, that's a pretty
okay,
obvious
that's fair.
statement.
So Eddie Murphy, that he has released, as people are saying in the chat, Eddie Murphy did make music. He has a song "Party All the Time."
My
but,
girl, party all the
yes,
time.
you know it.
All the
But I don't know if he made music, but his occupation is not. He is not.
Is that what he won a Grammy for?
No, I don't think so.
Party all the time.
I
oh
think
my gosh.
but he's I guess he is a musician, but he's not professionally a musician. I don't know. I feel like that's a little
that's
weak
not what
sauce
he's
on the
known
lie.
for. Because isn't that the criteria for that category? Is like they are most because like a lot of celebrities like dabble. You know what I mean? Like they do a little bit of some things, but like what are they known for? And so I just think that you can't say that.
Did he sing in
Eddie
Dreamgirls
Murphy's a
also?
musician.
Yes.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay. I think you got it, Rob. I think that's it.
So I think we're ready to project at this hour. Shane
I love a good projection.
is the daughter of Eddie Murphy. That's what we think.
Yeah.
I didn't see Sam. Can we get the clue wall back up? Because I didn't see anything that was really screaming Eddie Murphy on the
Nothing
clue
as
wall.
obvious as the Forrest Gump bench.
Where's that
Justice
bench?
for Carly?
Yes, justice for Carly. On the bench, I mean, I don't see a donkey. Is that a donkey? It's a donkey on the Peanuts.
That is a donkey.
Yeah, okay.
That is a donkey. It's not a horse. It's a donkey. Okay.
Yeah, could the Statue of Liberty be coming to America?
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, some other, 2 clocks, 48 hours. Is that right? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, although I don't know, clock's 12 hours. I feel like it should be 4 clocks.
What are the times on those? They're
Yeah.
both at
so
that's what, 10?
Looks like
10?
I don't know.
Oh, which one's the second one? Hard to tell. This is like an extremely
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the clocks are working.
I think you're right,
yeah.
Rob, but it'll be fun. And here's the thing is like if we're figuring out some of these people like early on, at least it'll be fun to try to find the clues for them. If if they're not telling us,
Yeah.
what
Okay.
are
The
those?
crown, is that a crown for coming to America?
That's a crown. But what are those little chains?
Protractor.
No, I know what a protractor is.
Okay, well, what
Rob.
are you looking at? What do you want to
Those,
see?
like gold chain things with are they coins
I
that
don't
are
know.
hanging beside the protractor?
I think that's the hidden immunity idol. I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Can
All
I
right.
say I don't like the new clue wall? That's my maybe cold take.
You liked it being
maybe
all
hot take.
blue?
I think that first of all, the blue wall was just so aesthetic. Like it was just beautiful and cool. It just commanded like attention. Whereas like this is just like a yard sale on a pegboard to me,
Yeah.
Like it's helpful, but I kind of liked the way that the blue clue wall, like there was a uniformity to it because everything was at least like blue and like of the same kind of material. And so there
Mhm.
was like some sort of like standard for all of the things. Like this is just literally stuff on a wall and it just feels like it looks more low budget to me than the last clue wall, and I thought we were increasing budget. It's easier to see the things,
It is
but
easier
I
to see
don't
the thing.
it is like it 100% is, but I almost feel like it's too easy. Like I
Mhm.
want because I feel like with the blue clue wall, like things were getting lost. You know what I mean? Like because things weren't popping out as much because there was no difference in colors. I don't know. That is my take. I don't know if anyone agrees with me. I don't know if this is a cold take or a hot take, but I prefer the blue clue wall from last season. This one, it just looks a little yard sale to me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let us know in the comments on Apple Podcasts. Should they bring back the blue clue wall or is this one
I
good?
like the blues clues.
Yes. robhasawebsite.com/claim feed or fame feed.
Oh, Pambella in the chat says, and the peanuts also allude to Nutty Professor. This is what I'm saying. Give us clues
Just
that
so.
could be a couple different people because we think maybe the peanuts are Jimmy Carter, but it could be Eddie Murphy. I love it. I love that.
Could be dual meaning.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love that.
Jenny, let's go to Gabriel, who's one of the
Oh,
breakout stars of the show.
good.
Gabriel cannot go home. Okay.
Please no.
Gabriel, please, like, let's get Gabriel, put him on like the Marvin trajectory. He should be on every single show.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about Gabriel. And Gabriel has two truths and a lie. And his two truths and a lie are that his relative is his brother.
Mm-hmm.
The occupation is an athlete, and the award is an NAACP award. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know that the lie is that his brother is an athlete. Lots of people lying about athletes and musicians here.
Yes.
And so we're looking for his brother who won an NAACP award, Gabriel.
And we also and I like that if they're not telling us exactly who they're related like to, we're getting like little hints about what things they lied about. So we're getting a little bit of information, but not too much. Things that we've gathered from what else Gabriel said. He apparently doesn't look much like his relative because he said this is the one time that not looking like his celebrity relative might actually help him.
Yes.
So yeah, I think
he doesn't look like his brother.
So we can't be basing that on looks. And we know that it's not an athlete. So that's like a good amount of information to start with. But we don't know if he's not an athlete, what he does.
Yeah.
So that's a big question mark.
Yeah. So this is interesting, Gabriel. Hopefully, like, this is good for us that we don't know who Gabriel is or who his brother might be because we want him to stick around for a while.
Yeah. I really, really do. He gave so much in this first episode. And it's just like such a fun presence. And like he's doing that thing where like he's coming off like silly and like he's downplaying how smart he is. And we're getting the like, he's a jokester. He's like fun to be around. He's making lots of jokes in the house and has like a good energy. But he tells us he's like, I'm a sniper. Like I'm paying attention to what everyone's doing, what everyone's thinking. I love that. I love that like strategy so much. Like, yes, and we saw that it's working because Carly said herself on her way out, even Gabriel figured out the freaking bench,
Yeah,
and he's not even that
how
smart.
dare she? How
Yeah,
dare you, Carly?
I was rooting for you until that point.
Gabriel found that out. He's not even like smart.
For real? That's cold. Damn.
Yeah. Where do you get off, Carly?
This is messed up. What did he do to you? He wasn't the
Yeah.
one that guessed you.
Yeah, he's not.
He's a
even
nice
that
man, and he is
smart. Get outta
smart.
here. Yeah. A lot of
And
people in the
he
chat
is
are
gonna
saying
get
Kevin
all your
Hart,
screen.
Jenny. You give anything to Kevin Hart?
So that's funny because if he says I don't look a lot like him, Kevin Hart is a very small man.
And Gabriel seems
Gabriel's a large,
tall.
tall man. Like, yeah, he's very tall.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, this
like,
would be...
he chose athlete because he's like, I kind of look like, which I don't know if I agree with this like rationale where it's like, I look like I could be an athlete, so maybe I'm related to an athlete. It's like, well, then why aren't you an athlete? You know,
Jenny, it's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. It's like your brother is good at sports. Why
but
aren't you?
I feel like that's like what happens in a lot of cases with like, you know,
Mhm.
families of athletes. Like obviously there's like, you know, some are more successful than others, but
now Michael Horn in the chat says his brother is Jam Jam. Do we think is that possible?
I mean, I love them both. They both have really fun energy, so I don't know.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for that. See if there's anything about Jam Jam on the clue wall. Okay.
Jam Jam's his brother, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about somebody who also was a big part of tonight's festivities. Let's talk about JR. JR really wants us to think that he is related to a basketball player. He is not. His relative is his brother. The occupation is a musician, and the award is an NBA championship ring. JR has one strategy, and that is make everybody think that he is related to an NBA player. He says people say he looks like Dwayne Wade, and so that he's actually not good at basketball.
Certainly not.
But he hurts himself playing basketball. But he says later on in the episode that he is, people could think that his relative is an NBA player, and they are not.
And I don't hate this as a strategy because if you have the awareness that people already think you look like someone famous, and that's not the famous person that you are related to, that is money in the bank. Like you're given a strategy to lean into, and so for him to be like, people think I look like Dwayne Wade, so I am going to lean into the, basketball player thing. Now, the problem is like you have to be very careful. And I think that this is like really hard for a lot of people in this game where it's like you need to do enough to make people make those connections without it being so obvious that it's like, oh, okay, we get it, you're related to a basketball player, like you're pushing it a little too much,
right?
And I feel like that was my one criticism of Gabriel, where when Gabriel had the note and he was like, yeah, like, my brother is an athlete, so like we skipped reading, and then like, you know what I mean, like he's like making all of these like references to like it's like
the more you talk about it,
you have to be measured in how much you're giving that information to people. But like I do think that having a plan for how you're going to mislead people, having someone set in, like, not just like hoping that they just don't figure it out, like you should go into this with like at least one, maybe two people that you want to like slowly breadcrumb like people to misguess, because having people like be really sure about the wrong person is great in this game.
Right.
So if JR can actually really do some work and make people think that he is related to Dwayne Wade, that's incredible for him.
Yes.
And I would love that.
So that's the good news for JR. The bad news is that he doesn't seem to know anything and has never heard of
At
Buzz
all.
Aldrin before. And so I think that he is
Oh.
in a little bit of trouble. I mean, because ideally you want to not have anybody know who you are and then also know who a lot of other people are.
Yes. So yeah, like there's two sides of this game. It's like it's one being good at like hiding your own identity, but there is the part of the game where you actually need to be able to figure out who other people are,
Mhm.
especially as you get down to like few people, when people are going to stop helping you because they're looking out for their own interests. So I think he's like in a good spot right now because no one is afraid of him because they're not worried about him taking them out. And I think that people will like give him information or like want him on their side in terms of like someone to like, if he ends up in the guessing role, like they won't go after him. So like, I think that that's like JR's role right now, is that like he's not a threat to a lot of people, but it depends on like whose pocket he ends up in and whether people like, if there becomes like someone in the house where it's like this is the mastermind of the house and like we need to get them out, and like JR is obviously the person that's like working with them, like that's when he becomes in trouble. So that's like what I worry about for him. But like at this point, he's in a good spot where he can just be like a number for people and like someone for people to like bounce things off of, even if he isn't going to have a lot of input himself. I mean, I
Mhm.
don't know what else he doesn't know. He didn't know who Buzz Aldrin was. Maybe that's not like the worst thing. He might know a lot about like a different type of celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, there's a girl on Stars on Mars that thinks that Lance Armstrong is Neil Armstrong. So,
If only.
it's not the worst thing.
Yeah.
Um, so, in the chat, Heather Grimm was, I didn't watch last season. How closely do they have to be related? Not that close.
We've got cousins, like niece, nephew,
Niece, nephew,
grandchildren.
grandson, granddaughter. The thing we
Yeah.
have not seen spouse for whatever
No.
reason.
I
They
think
did it like
that
I'm married to.
I think
Well,
that for them, like they want as big of names as possible without it being so obvious who the person
mhm.
is, and that's why you're probably never going to get spouses.
But I just don't know why. Like, oh yeah, husband. Why? I guess if somebody is like famous enough, maybe you know who their spouse is.
I think that they're more likely to have been on red carpets with people. If they're a
Mhm.
really big celebrity, like you might be like, I've seen this person before, and then like, I don't know.
Okay.
But also the other point, Rob, is there is a cash prize here of 100K. And you might think like, well, why do these people need to be on reality TV if they're, trying to win 100K if they are related to celebrities? I think that the answer is be disconnected enough, or like have that celebrity is like not actively like doing a lot anymore to like make a lot of money, that like
Right.
if you are married to like an A-lister, you're not coming on to
I guess
ABC's
that's
claim to
fair. That's
fame for
fair.
100K. I
You're
just don't
right.
think, yeah.
You're right. You got to be far enough down the payroll where I don't know how much money Tom Hanks is paying out to his nieces.
Right, exactly. Like maybe an ex like spouse where like, there
Mhm.
there was a prenup or something.
Right.
Like is that allowed? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about somebody who we did not get a lot about tonight. Let's talk about Carson. Now I believe that have you seen this? Carson has a merch store up selling
Oh,
pillows.
is
Can you
this
believe
is this
this?
is this like well, it's not first boot energy because she didn't go tonight. Is she going to lose in
No.
fire?
I'm
What is
joking.
the
I'm
trajectory
joking.
for
Okay.
the merch?
Carson, two truths and a lie. Her relative is an uncle. Occupation is a musician. And her award is this person is inducted into the Hall of Fame. We do not know what Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
If it
And that
is,
wasn't she was one of the like the fast ones.
yes,
So
we
we didn't
did. This
all
is
of these
this
on
is
there.
completely from parade.com
Yeah,
and
thanks,
not
Parade.
part of the episode. So Carson, now I don't know, did she throw Amazing Grace if she is related to a musician?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think that that's a good move if you are.
Yeah. Okay, Uncle Musician Hall of Fame. I think we got
I've
literally
nothing.
about
No clue.
yeah, I'm trying to think, going back to the talent show, Carson decided to sing Amazing Grace,
Grace, yeah.
and
And there was like post-production added, like the bad violin in the background and like the mic feedback, like that had to have been post-production. Because like she did that a cappella. Like it was pretty bad.
It was rough. It was
Yeah,
rough.
it was rough.
And
It was not
the
amazing.
audience, I don't know how she didn't lose.
Well, she said it herself. She thinks that she was saved by sympathy claps, where you know it was so bad that people were like, I gotta give her some claps because she did try it. Whereas I think like the people that ultimately and there's another question for me is like, how are they measuring the applause?
I think that they must have some sort of like decibel
like a decibel
meter.
reader. And like I also just think there's like a few things that don't make this even for me. And you know, if Jenny's going to do something on a podcast, she's going to like, you know, interpret whether this is fair or not. The justice of it all. Like isn't it worse like if you go like earlier or maybe it's better if you go earlier, the audience has more energy, there might be clapping more, like they don't know what's to come, so they don't know how much to clap for things because they have nothing to compare it to. Like what if you clapped really really hard for someone earlier on and then like later on you're like, oh, that was even better, I need to clap like crazy, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like the order of things. And then also I just feel like some of these talents are like not all the types of things that you have an obvious clapping point for.
Yes.
Like,
well, I think that Travis won because I think that they probably, if they were like just like measuring like what was the high point, I think that probably like him opening the box of pizza like probably like was like the
shock
like
factor.
Well, I just think it was like the like, okay, audience has to applaud all specifically all at that one point, and maybe that caused like the biggest spike in the volume.
I do want to know the science behind how they measure this, but like the two that end up in the bottom makes sense to me for the type of thing that they were doing. You know what I mean? I just think that like people are more likely to clap and have like a response to things like singing and playing music and just like traditional types of things that you're an audience for. Like how often are you watching someone like deadlift and clapping for them, or like throwing basketballs into a net and clapping for them? I just
well,
like,
I think if he got any in, I think
maybe maybe they would clap, but I also just think like it's a bad choice for a talent if you're looking for applause.
Sure. Claim to Fame season 3 contestants, pay attention, okay?
I got the good tips for you.
Yes, Jenny has good tips. She went to a reality TV college.
It's true.
Because Jenny went to a college I couldn't go to. It was a college just for girls.
Yes.
Just for reality TV girls.
All right. Let's go to Chris. Chris is somebody we did not get a lot about but I think he's a lie, but he did become somebody he's a player. Okay. Now Chris is interesting. His relative is allegedly an uncle. Their musician is the occupation, and the highest award is a Hollywood Walk of Fame star, the prestigious Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Now,
is that an award? Is it the same as an award?
Not really.
You don't get the star. It gets like, it's like a public.
Right. But it's also very clearly the truth.
It is
because you would not.
It is prestigious.
You would not lie that that's your Hollywood Walk of Fame star. So he talked about
Uncle is the lie.
Well, I think Uncle might be the lie because he talked about that he had a similar talent as he even says later on in the episode that the lie is that it's his uncle. and his relative looks like him.
Okay,
John Mayer
but
was thrown
yeah.
around.
So this is one of the things that frustrated me because I was taking my notes and I was like, he looks like John Mayer. And I like typed it in my notes and I was like so excited that I had like a guess. And then like literally like 30 seconds later, Jane turns to Monet and was like, his eyes, he looks a lot like John Mayer. I was like, damn it. Come
But that being
on.
said, Jenny, this would be like a reverse JR, where that if he comes on Claim to Fame, his relative is John Mayer. He
Yeah.
says he looks like John Mayer, and he decides my talent in the talent show is going to be sit on the stage and play the acoustic guitar
Sing
and sing a song.
Your body is a wonderland.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, and this is another one of those ones where I'm like, I think because it was said, it can't be true. I think that I would feel a lot better about my guess of John Mayer if it wasn't also said by someone else 30 seconds later. So while I can see the resemblance, and I was like, he's he said he's like, I'm taking a risk because like I am also musically inclined and like I also look like my relative. So like I'm doing something that they would do while looking somewhat like them. They might start making the connection. It's a little too obvious. Now, we didn't hear that that it's an uncle. So that was from Parade. That was not on the show. So now I'm starting to think, is the uncle true?
No, he says later on in the episode that he lied that the person is his uncle.
Oh, he did?
He does say in the episode, I have my notes, lie is that it's his uncle.
Okay. I did not know that what the lie was. I knew
Mhm.
that it was definitely a singer because he
Yeah.
did say that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We see some people
He
in
was
the
good, though.
chat thinking Donny Osmond, but that would be like a grandpa.
I mean, if it's an uncle, like that could really
Well, it's
vary in
not an
age.
uncle. It's not an uncle.
Rob, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't remember him saying that it wasn't an uncle. So
Mhm.
there is still a world that I live in that it could be an uncle. It's
Okay.
not in my notes. So
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. That's Chris had a little bit more to do with
how old is Donny
playing the game.
Osmond?
I think Donny Osmond's old, right?
Like late 60s?
I think older than that. Let's see.
Really?
Donny Osmond is born in 1957, so 65.
Oh, he's only 6. Okay, and this guy, yeah, I'm not like against the possibility of him being an Osmond because I see it now.
Mhm.
I see it in the face now, and now that's all I'm thinking about. This is the problem with this show, though, is like I get so fixated on like one theory, and then as soon as I
Here's
see
Donny Osmond.
okay, but like show a younger picture of him.
Young Donny Osmond. Okay. Let's see.
Young, like if he's like a like spitting image.
Okay. Young Donny Osmond.
Okay, that is Chris with big hair. Come on.
Okay, so let's go from that to
Come on.
Hmm.
Come on, Rob.
Okay.
The eyes? Come
yeah.
on.
I could I could
The
see
nose?
it. I could see it.
Okay, I think we're on to something here.
Yes. Okay.
Also, yeah, I saw the John Mayer, but now I just like I can't believe that it's a thing anymore. Like it's too. And like what would he like, a brother or a cousin or something like that? I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's see. What's the biggest Donny Osmond song? Okay, let's just see if we have a match here.
What we should be looking for on the clue wall?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Puppy Love. I never rely on the chat here. What's the
Ooh.
biggest? What's
Yeah.
that Donnie has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? Okay. A little
Okay.
bit country, a little bit rock and roll. I didn't see anything about that.
Someone said Donnie has 13 grandchildren. So do you think he could be a grandchild?
it's possible. I mean,
How old is Chris? He seems kind of young.
the Everything is Family, I feel like could potentially be about the Osmonds
Because
also.
literally everyone is their family because they have 100
They have a really
grandchildren.
big family. Yeah. Puppy love, people are saying, are the do we have
Okay.
I think
We
there was
have
a
puppy.
dog on the wall, right? Let's see.
I see camels. There's a baby.
A baby. They had lots of babies.
There's a rabbit. There's multiple rabbits, actually.
Yeah. Multiply like rabbits.
I don't see
A doggo. All
I
right.
don't see a doggo.
All
I
right.
don't see. Oh wait, there's the little it's the little Monopoly doggo, the little Yorkshire Terrier. See it right there by the camels?
Okay. Yeah, right in front of the camels. And there's also the
See?
big D, Jenny. Could be for Donnie.
Gabriel
The
called
big
it out. It's
D.
the big D. The big D for Donnie. Is that what they call Donnie? The big D?
Maybe. And then wouldn't his mom be famous also?
That's the thing, is like justice for Marie.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is Marie's the mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Like,
thought I
why
saw one of
is
the
it, like
flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz. Could that be from Oz, Osmond?
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, it could be. But I've
Okay.
seen bigger stretches.
All right. Oh, Marie's the sister. Oh my
Marie's the
god.
sister.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I didn't grow up with the Osmonds. I'm sorry, okay?
Sorry about that. All right, let's move on.
Sorry
then.
for making it
Okay.
incest.
Sorry. All right. We have Olivia. Okay. What do we know about Olivia? I think almost nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
She
was
did,
Olivia in the
a pole
episode?
dance.
Yes.
And she has
Purple
cool
Olivia.
outfits.
Let's talk about Purple Olivia. Two truths and a lie. That her relative is her brother. Occupation is a TV personality, and the award is a Razzie. Won a Razzie for the worst movie award.
Yeah. So obviously, like, it's not someone super famous, right? Like, if they won, or I guess, okay. So this is the thing: is like,
the lie could be that they
could,
won a Razzie because
you could
they would
win
never win a Razzie.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that could just be the lie. No, were people? Yeah, because I feel like no one's lying about the awards.
Mm-hmm.
And like that would be a fun lie.
Yeah,
I guess.
I feel like the Razzie was the one thing they told us about her.
That was literally it. We know nothing else about her.
Brother,
her
TV
talent was like she didn't even get her own segment during the talent show. They just like did a quick clip of her like doing like pole dance routine. That's it.
Yep. So I think it would be very hard to be lying about TV personality, because I think that basically any person you say could be a TV personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like tell me the person that you could say you couldn't squint and say they're a TV personality.
Yeah, no, I
think yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea who this is.
We don't know anything about Olivia. Yeah.
Enough about the Razzies. That's it. Like that's the other thing.
I mean,
is
the
like,
Razzies
one,
are the awards for worst movies.
But also, like, you could win a Razzie and also win an award for a good movie. Like, many people that are in good movies are also sometimes in bad movies. So,
but I don't think that this person would go on to claim to fame with a like Oscar award winning relative and mention that their best award is a Razzie.
Yes. And also if that is supposed to be one of their truths, and it's supposed to be the highest award you've won, you've won a better award than the Razzie, you're not saying the Razzie. You can't. Those are the rules.
Yeah, those are the rules.
So,
all right. Okay.
That's gotta be a lie, maybe. I don't know. Or just they're not very famous.
Talk about Travis. Somebody got a lot of airtime.
Yeah.
We have some theories out there about Travis. And so Travis, that his relative is his father. Is it Spider-Man? Yeah, it could be.
It's at least Spider-esque.
Spider-esque. I don't know if it's Spider-Man. His occupation is an actor, and he has won his most prestigious award is a Critics' Choice Award.
And that was
Now-
when everyone was like, what the hell is a Critics' Choice?
Okay. Now, this was floated then later on in the episode that we saw Jane say that she believes that Travis is the son of scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Now, I will say, Jane said it was obvious who Travis
Jason!
Jane said. See, I can get that reference. But so Jane did say that it was obvious who Travis was related to because of the cadence, how he talks is a lot like the relative and the pie thing. But it wasn't actually Jane that said Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, who was it?
It was Monet and Olivia and Shane talking to Gabriel. That was when they were talking about how Travis apparently had told Chris that he was going to pick one of their bottles, and they were talking about he's playing the game too hard. And then that was when, I can't remember who it was of the girls, said that they think it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. And again, this is another one that I wrote down in my notes, and then like a minute later somebody said it. So
Okay, so
that
you
makes
were
me
on Neil
feel-
deGrasse Tyson.
as soon as the pie thing happened, well, and also I was just like, I don't think he's like related to an actor or an actress. Like the
Mhm.
story about that he was telling Hugo about like going to like Emmys and like, you know, award shows and getting photos with like Gal Gadot and like Jessica Chastain. I just felt like there was something fake about that story. And so I didn't think that I don't know.
I mean, kind of makes Neil deGrasse Tyson look kind of like pervy, if that's true.
If that's
Huge
true.
if true. Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think that that's true. But so this is my problem is that like when I get a thought I have validated by somebody on the show this early, I'm like, well, I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened with the Neil deGrasse Tyson. Because I was like, as soon as the pie thing happened, I was like, because Travis even said he's like, I'm taking a bit of a risk, like with, you know, showing off. What did he say? He said something about how it was like maybe not a great choice for him to do that sort of talent. And so I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? So that was why I thought Neil deGrasse Tyson. And there's lots of like clues on the wall that you could relate to Neil deGrasse Tyson, but
like what?
There's a protractor.
Yes. Yeah.
You could
So
technically say the astronaut.
mhm.
That's the thing is like, so if they're good with the clues, they're gonna give us a few things that could actually be extended to a few of these people.
Yeah. So Neil deGrasse Tyson, I just feel like that his most prestigious award is a Critics' Choice Award, though. That's the one that I feel like. And I guess is it?
Oh, you're right. Because then if he's lying about because did he say?
Well, his father's an actor. He says his father's an actor. And then won a Critics' Choice Award.
But what is a Critics' Choice Award?
I don't know. Like, what would he get? Like, did he win like for a science documentary?
That's the thing. Award. That's why it's like such a mystery. But it was like the cadence thing, like the comment that Jane said where it was like he speaks in the same cadence. And then I was like, but then it was like one of those things where it's like confirmation bias where you like start seeing, like I was like, yeah, he does kind of like talk with the same cadence as Neil deGrasse Tyson. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It gets in your head.
It does.
I don't know.
You could squint and then force anybody to be anything. So, all right, there's Travis, a winner of the talent show. Do you think that Neil deGrasse Tyson is like, makes all the kids learn pi? They get like 90 digits in, they screw up. He's like, again, from the start.
That sounds traumatic, but I think if he did it in like a loving, cute way where it's like, you know, sit around the table and it's like, all right, guys, like show me how many numbers of pi have you like it seems like a fun, quirky thing that he could do as a father. I don't love the idea that he's like hitting them with like
I don't think he hits them.
Sorry, I guess I made it more violent.
Mhm.
I just like was picturing like a meter stick. Do you know what a meter stick is from?
Yeah, I do. I do.
That's what
Like
we
a
call it here.
yardstick.
It's a meter.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Michael in the chat says that he did win a 2014 Critics' Choice Television Award.
And he hasn't won anything better than that, you think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, let's talk about this person. Apparently, this guy is on the show. I believe his name is Cole.
Yes. Phil had
Cole
the
is
same
somebody that was on
reaction.
the
He said, "Who's
show.
that guy?"
He
I-
painted.
I
Yes.
hated his talent.
Yes.
It made me angry.
Why?
Because it was just so stupid, Rob.
Hmm.
He spray painted on a canvas and then turned it towards the audience and said, "This is what the world needs a little bit more of right now." And it just said love, and it was not a good art piece either. It was so random. And also it plays into my, point of like, this is not a good talent if you're looking for applause. Like I am surprised he wasn't in the bottom. I guess people were clapping for love. They're like, yeah, the world does need more love. That's what they clapped for, Rob. They did not clap for Cole or his artwork. If anything, they were clapping for the concept of the world needing more love. That it was a terrible talent. I'm sorry.
Not great. Okay.
It wasn't
Let's
good.
talk about his two truths and a lie. His relative is his father. And the occupation is a singer, and the award is Grammy. This marks at least 3 people in this cast that say their relatives' occupations are singers or musicians who have won Grammys.
With the Grammy. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I mean, I have nothing on this guy. So I can't tell you what those like what the lie could be. Probably the relationship, right? Like I think that that's what most people are lying about.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
all relationship or the occupation. What do you think is like the easiest thing to lie about? The award, obviously. That the award is the easiest thing to lie about.
Yeah, because you could slip up and say, your relative, and so you have to lie about more stuff.
So if you had to do this, Rob,
Yeah.
what? And I mean, this is like obviously like a fake scenario because you're the most famous person in your family.
Mhm.
But what would you pick the occupation? Say you were related to
I'm the
someone
most famous. The most famous person in my family, because we were watching this show as a family, and my younger son said, "Mom, are we related to anybody famous?" So that
and she said, "Absolutely not."
No, yeah, nobody I could think of. So. All right. So what am I doing in this exercise, Jenny?
So I just want to know, would you lie about the occupation or the relationship? Like what's the better? I guess it depends on like what you think.
I think you would probably lie about the occupation.
I think so too.
I think that's easier
because
to sell.
I just think that like, especially if you're going to tell stories about them, because they're always doing the thing where they're telling stories about like their famous relative. I just think that if you have like a different relationship or age, like if they're like your cousin, but you said they were your grandfather, like the age discrepancy there with like how you would talk about things that you did together. Like, I just think that there's like way more ways that you could get caught with that kind of lie. But I don't know. I think it just really depends on like the person. So, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I just think it's interesting.
And then let's just revisit Carly real quick, and then talk about her things, which we now know.
Our screaming
queen. Yes. Carly. What was her stuff? She said that it was her uncle, right? That's correct.
So she not lie about that. A musician,
and then won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Of course, Tom Hanks has won
that was
numerous
the minute,
Oscars. Yeah.
That was the minute where I was like, oh, this is the one that's related to Tom Hanks. So thanks for that article. Whatever article that was. I don't know what it was, but
gone too soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. How did you feel about her rap, Rob?
Not good. I didn't think it was very good at all. to be honest.
It was an original composition where
Yes.
she talked about her experience being related to somebody famous. There was a
Mhm.
lot of artistry there. And she finished it off with a little twerk action.
Yeah. All right, but let's talk about the talent show.
Okay.
Because the
I feel like
talent
we have,
show
but
ends up being the challenge for the first episode. That is this the classic that the talent show will kick off every season of Claim to Fame?
I think that at this point, yeah. I think that's the industry
Jenny,
standard now.
I hope tomorrow morning we're like looking on here and tag me with the tweets, people, of Claim to Fame, #1 show of the night on ABC. 7 million people watch Claim to Fame tonight.
I hope so. I feel like way more people were
Surprise
watching
hit of the
live.
summer.
8 p.m.
Although then
Okay.
RIP Stars on Mars.
Like maybe just change the pop it to
Jenny
9
and I will be
o'clock.
back later on in the week for Stars
Yeah,
on Mars recap, by the way.
we're still on Mars.
Could we get Neil deGrasse Tyson to join us for Stars on Mars recap? Or Travis.
I would love that. Or Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If we can't get Carson, maybe we can get Carson from this.
Could we get Tyson?
Tyson Apostle.
Yes.
I think we might have more of an in with him
Yeah.
than Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I don't know if we can get Neil Gottlieb. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to return calls.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I don't think he has a phone.
Everybody's gonna do their thing in the talent show. Chris, I do think that it is a move, as we saw with Logan, of hey, my relative is in the music industry. I want to be in the music industry. I'm here on Claim to Fame, not necessarily to win, but to show my chops.
And I think that worked for Logan. It seems like he's taken off with his music career. So, I mean, that's the thing. Like you're asking like, okay, well, what do these people have to gain like from being on reality television if they're related to someone famous? Well, one, if you're like a nephew or something, like it's not like you are benefiting that much from the wealth and fame of like an uncle or aunt. But the other thing is like if you have some sort of talent or you're trying to advance your own career and getting exposure even in a situation where it's like, oh, and also you might know me from such films as like, you know what I mean? Where you like make the connection of like, why do I care about you, random person that plays a guitar and sings? It's like, well, you get the exposure from being on the show. And also now I'm related to John Mayer or Donny Osmond.
One or the other.
One of the
right?
two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's not a bad strategy.
All right. Jane is gonna follow up with playing the ukulele.
I love this
This
because
was good.
Yeah, it was good. And it's like I feel like that was like the perfect kind of talent because it wasn't too try hard. And she made it funny and cute where she was like, and Franklin, you're my fave Jonas brother. Like that was cute. And like she appealed to the crowd. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get applause for that. Like I just thought it was like a good choice for a talent. That was a good talent. Good job, Jane.
Yeah, very well done. Okay. We saw Carly rapping. Couldn't even follow what she was saying.
I was screaming watching this. I was losing it. Like it took me a second to realize it was a rap. At first I was like, is this spoken word? Okay, we're rapping now. She's doing the hand motions. And then all of a sudden she's dropping it low and shaking the ass. And I was like,
okay,
this is television right here. This is prime time.
Down, bro. Stop rapping. You're trash.
All right.
Sorry,
JR is going to shoot baskets. Did Simone Biles' sister Louise do this in the premiere last season?
I think so. Yes. I think that she did better than JR though. Yeah. I think that like I don't know. If you're trying to make people think that your sibling is a basketball player without doing too much, just do something else. I don't know. Do you think that he was fake? Like, do you think that he purposely was bad at throwing the basketball? Like, I just feel like
Why?
I feel like I could have at least made one of those baskets. And
It's like, then don't do basketball. If you want people to think that your talent is that you're related to a basketball player, like don't get out the basket and then do
I
bad at
agree.
basketball
I agree. I think either way,
and
that's
get hurt and
probably
hurt
not
yourself.
the move. Well, yeah. I mean, speaking of Tyson, he's doing the Tyson strategy now where he's hurt and now he's
Yeah.
seen as not a threat.
Keep him around for challenges. Okay.
Yeah.
Carson sang Amazing Grace. It was not so amazing. I have in my notes, oof, bad.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty sure that Franklin said oof backstage.
I think I
there
typed
wasn't
it
oof.
and then he said it right after me.
Yeah.
So similar
See?
review.
We're on the same page.
You mentioned Cole's painting.
Hated it.
Olivia did the pole dance.
Yeah, she didn't even get an introduction. They really purpled her.
I don't think they could show it at 8 p.m.
Oh, you think? Well, they showed the pole dancing. They just didn't explain
Briefly.
any of it.
Yeah.
Shane did a magic trick.
Yeah. Okay. That seemed impressive.
It's different, at least. I think that that's like a risky though, because like the same theory I have where it's like, are people going wild? Is the shock factor of the magic trick enough to get the applause? I don't know.
I think so.
I mean,
Gabriel. Gabriel brought down the house.
Yes.
How did he not get
Gabriel
into?
is like an entertainer. Like he just has like that natural, like entertaining charisma. So I really just think that like, but again, like doing some sort of like song or musical performance, like that is the type of thing that people are accustomed to giving a hearty applause to when it ends, even if it's bad. That's just like it. I think that's just people are more naturally like, that's what you do when someone finishes their performance is you clap.
That's what we like when we finish the podcast.
I wish people would clap for me when I finish I wish that someone would come into the room when I finish a podcast and give me a little clap.
Or people could just do it at their house when they get to the end of the podcast.
I will just pretend people are clapping for me.
Yes. Okay, there's thunder at my house. I'll just pretend that's clapping. Yes. Okay. Then, Jenny, we had Hugo did his weightlifting. This was dumb.
Yeah. Hugo is so obsessed with making people think that he's an athlete. He's like, can we talk about his posture for
Bad
hot
posture?
sec?
Yeah.
He just is so interesting in how he like carries himself. He's always like leaned back in like the confessional chair. Like he's always like, I don't know if he's like trying to overcorrect a posture thing or something, but he's always like, I don't know, just pay attention to it next time. I just think he's very funny with like, he's always very like leaned back or like he's leaned forward, but his body's trying to move back. I don't know.
Okay.
I could not stop
We'll
staring
keep an
at
eye
his-
on it.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like constantly puffing his chest out because he's trying to like make it seem like he's an athlete.
I'm an athlete.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yes. And then Travis did his pie trick. How do you think that pizza looked at the end?
It looked kind of gross, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably there for a while. Like the cheese was like coagulated. Did he personally because the pepperoni on the pizza was in the symbol of pie? Was he putting the pepperonis?
Yes.
Was that?
He handled them. Yes.
Are you sure?
Positive. What do you think? You just order a pizza like hey, can I get a large pepperoni pie? Can you, but literally pepperoni pie. Can you put the
Okay,
pie?
but he lifted the pizza up to show the audience and the pepperonis did not move.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, did he also toss it into an
maybe
oven
he glued them.
quick glued? Okay. This is too much for me. He's gluing pepperoni onto a pizza.
Yes.
Is there some sort of science?
He left nothing to chance.
Was the cheese like hot and melted enough that simply placing the pepperoni onto the pizza would
That's
make it stick?
possible. That's
Okay.
possible.
I just think that it looked like it was previously put together and we were just
Yeah.
to believe that he was placing the pepperoni. And these are the things that I care about, Rob.
Yeah, I think the prop department could have hooked him up here.
Yeah, I think so. Where did he get
Mhm.
the like the lab coat with the pizza on? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did all
Mhm.
these props come from?
I don't know. Maybe he brought it with him. Maybe they
He's like,
know
"Oh, I gotta bring
the first
I gotta
challenge is going to be a talent show. Bring it. I mean, why did frickin' Hugo have the unitard?
I think that he just wears them. I'm pretty sure at one point, he had like a thong sticking out of his pants, like
Mhm.
at home. Like later, I was like, listen, like I'm not here to judge anyone's underwear choices, but I was like, what is going on with Hugo's underpants situation here? Because he was like doing the like he had like a black looked like a thong above the pants, which I know is very trendy again right now. We're back to the point, like, where the thong strings are above the pants. And I think that that's what Hugo is doing. But
Oh, do you think he's related to Cisco?
oh, maybe.
Has Cisco won the Nobel Peace Prize? I mean, he's at one point he was the most powerful man in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
1999.
he had a stranglehold over us with the thong song.
Mhm.
Let me see that.
Is there a thong on the clue wall, Sam?
Ooh, yes. That's what we need to know.
Okay. All right. So we talked about Travis, his clue that we feel pretty confident about Eddie Murphy.
Yes, I think now with that, yeah, thank you for that. Okay, the
Mhm.
people in the chat are saying it was a microphone pack, not a thong.
Okay.
That makes a lot more sense, but listen,
A lot less funny though.
a lot less funny, but
Mhm.
I kind of love living in the world where like Hugo packed numerous thongs. He had the like full wrestling unitard thing. He's like that's his regular wear. That's his athleisure.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Jimmy Carter is like, what did I
Yeah.
was what is going on? Why is my grandson wearing a thong?
Is Jimmy Carter watching this? This
I
Jim
don't think
is
so.
it's the same as as talking about friggin' what
Yeah.
Chuck Norris. Like has no idea this is happening.
I don't think so. I don't know if Jimmy Carter is in the greatest condition, so I don't know if he's checking
This
out
is
claim
like
to fame.
yeah, huge priority for him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Should we get into the voting a little bit? We get some
Sure.
strategy, right? People are trying to like send people different directions. Carly feels like she's gonna throw some people off. She's talking with Chris, and Chris, and like everybody is noticing. Like anytime somebody's like, "Oh, that could be Tom Hanks," like Carly is like,
Yeah.
"No, no way,
Any sort of Tom Hanks clue, she is deflecting hard.
no."
The astronaut comes up and Chris says, "Oh, it could be Apollo 13." And immediately she says, "Oh, but it could be someone who's literally been to space, like maybe Buzz Aldrin,"
Mhm.
which she gets a little help there when they say, "Is there anything Buzz? Is there some sort of buzzer there?" And they find the B. Oh, Buzz. And so this is how this like but then
Like,
she does a
oh,
good job
Buzz
here.
Lightyear, he was in Toy
Oh
Story with
no,
Tom Hanks.
wait. um, but then we go back to the bench, and the freaking bench, and Chris was like, the bench though is like probably Forrest Gump, and she's like, no, because there's like a
They couldn't get
castle.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah. That was her patting herself on the back, just being like, I am a big get to be related to Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very obvious
Okay.
deflection there.
Let's go to the guess off. Okay, and Carly is also going to is like she goes to Hugo and she's like, "Hey, Hugo, I'm telling you, Monet could be related to Steve Harvey. Think about it.
Think about it. Yeah.
Think about it. Steve Harvey. I buy
And
it, but who knows?
I guess it's possible. Like Steve Harvey, I
Survey
don't
says.
know all of all of his children because as we know from following Judge Steve Harvey, he's been married multiple times. I don't know how many children he has. So
I mean,
maybe
ABC is the Steve Harvey network.
it is. So that would make, I guess so, Rob. I just don't think that we're getting that many right names dropped in episode 1 if they don't want us to know too much too soon. That's what made me pull back on the Steve Harvey of it all.
Okay.
And
all right. So everybody goes to the Voto booth. And so this was interesting. We don't get a vote count, correct?
No, we did not get a vote count.
But we do see Carly vote for Hugo.
Yes.
Because
she helped him.
She's like, okay, I don't think he knows anything.
So, and she was like, you know, I've been helping him with some clues. And so I think that, like, you know, if he's going to go after anyone, it's not going to be me. So, yeah, not a great call for her.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jenny, I don't remember this from last season. Did they have to, when they did the guess off, stand face to face and look the person up? So this is very dramatic. I did not remember that. This was intense.
I think that this is like the most like animosity between the guesser and the guessee that we've ever had, which is maybe why the face to face of it all felt so intense and memorable. Because we get, you know, Carly up there being like, I helped you. And then Hugo is just saying nothing and is just staring at her.
Okay, so he makes the guess. I think your relative is Tom Hanks. Like, okay, Tom Hanks. Let's see if it's up there. Okay, let's do the countdown. Boop, boop, boop. It's like, oh, it's Tom Hanks. And then she did the obligatory claim to fame. Oh, my relative is the best, is the greatest person ever. Like, thank you so much for letting me be on the show. But then she walks off the stage.
So she was crying first. So I was like, I didn't know that we were even going to get because I feel like in a lot of other cases, when people get eliminated, like by the point that the reveal happens, they have accepted their elimination and they're just excited to talk about their relative. And I just felt like she was so distracted because she had already started crying. And, you know, like half of her discussion of her relative was actually in a confessional so I honestly think she maybe said like 2 sentences and then left.
Yeah.
And the rest they got like in confessional.
So she did say about, you know, okay, everything you hear about Tom Hanks is great. He's just like the greatest guy. So I'm sure
everything you've heard. I mean, like this is the thing is like, I mean,
thank you very much.
They do say that about everyone, but like, I mean, Tom Hanks is someone that everyone says great things about. So like, this is one of the ones where like, when she says everything you've heard about him is true, it's like, I mean, I would expect someone related to him to echo that. But.
Sure, except maybe Chet Hanks. Okay, but then we get to where and this one I would have come on to great premiere, great first episode of Claim to Fame. But then this is where things went next level because we start to hear from off camera like a Wilhelm scream,
literally a Wilhelm scream. Blood curdling
scream, and we get to hear this is we get to hear all of this, and I don't know if I'm playing these in the right order, by the way. Okay,
I don't know if it matters.
Bench, that's a freaking poster of the freaking Forrest Gump. Are you kidding me?
She's screaming.
Why a bench? There's literally no reference to benches on any other movie.
Now, does Forrest Gump meet Jimmy Carter in Forrest Gump?
Oh my God.
Mind blown. Yeah. I don't think he does. I think that there is like a quick mention of an assassination attempt of Jimmy Carter.
He gets mentioned though. That's so funny. Like wow.
There seemed like there was a lot of Forrest Gump. Like bring the clue wall up. Does she have a point? I mean, not only is there the bench, okay, is that the ping
The
pong
frickin'
paddle from
bench.
Forrest Gump?
Ooh, oh, okay, yeah.
Also,
I
that
didn't even notice the ping
okay.
pong
All right,
paddle
go up,
before. That's
Sam,
so
upper
funny.
right hand corner. Is that Woody's
Oh, the
boot? And then
snake in
also
the boot.
yeah, the
Is there
snake
a
in the
snake?
boot. There's a snake. There is a snake down below. There's also a sheriff's star, I believe, on
Okay.
the board as well.
Yeah, there is the snake. You're right.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. And then
So
obviously, like we've got the astronaut, which could be an Apollo 13.
could
I
potentially
mean, and
be
he's been
Apollo
in
13.
so many movies that like you could pick a bunch of this stuff and be like, maybe this. Like,
Yeah. Is there a Liberty Bell for Philadelphia? Don't know
mm,
if there's anything Castaway. Yeah.
didn't they say something about the
All these stuff was in FedEx boxes. So okay.
There's a football, but not a volleyball.
No volleyball. That maybe they
Okay.
felt like that would have been too
That
obvious.
would have been that would have been too much. But the freaking bench. We need the bench.
Okay. But okay, let's go back to how upset Carly was because she's mad at Hugo.
I helped you, Hugo. I freaking helped you. I gave you clues. And if any of them are right, I swear I hope you go home because of that.
Now hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I know. We need to dissect
Hold
that.
on a second. Okay. I gave you clues
Mhm.
and I hope they're right. And I hope you go home because of them. I feel like that maybe Carly is lacking a fundamental understanding of how
Of
the
how the
game
game
works.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless she's like really thinking that like she's right about things and he gives information to the wrong people and they take that information and get him out with like that, but that could not have been what she meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like if anything she should be saying, and I hope I was wrong and now you're gonna get eliminated because of it. Like that would make more sense given the way the game works.
Yeah, I would think so. I think that's how. If you understood,
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
yes,
Cole also knows what love is. You need a little more of it.
It's Cole knows what love is. Yeah. So you would hope that I give you wrong information, and then you go
Yeah.
home because of that. I hope hope I'm wrong. But then
Yeah.
even Gabriel is catching strays.
Even Gabriel found that out. He's not even like smart.
For real? That's cold. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm not a smart man. I'm not a smart
Yeah.
That could have been like a sample for a beat. I'm not a smart man. I'm not a smart man.
Yeah. It was related to a DJ. Okay. I can't believe it. Freaking Gabriel. And then she's also mad about the challenges.
I didn't even get to do any challenges.
You were in the talent show.
You did one.
rapped.
That was the challenge. And you didn't lose, but you didn't win. But you did participate. You gave
You were
it
in
your
a
all.
challenge.
That was literally a challenge. That was the first challenge. That scream is going to haunt me.
You did a challenge.
Yeah. And she's complaining about the screen time. For
Yeah.
one episode, she got a lot.
Okay. Now, Jenny, just to go back to something from Claim to Fame season 1 that you and I used to talk about.
Yeah.
Now, we do, and we would see back in season 1, Logan was the bartender.
Yes.
And everybody, they get their drank on.
They have those they're like little goblets that you can't see the
Yes.
contents of.
Yes. And this from the producers of Love is Blind, and they have
Yeah.
those glasses on the show. I do think that it is possible on
Yes.
the night of the voting ceremony, our contestants
We're overserved.
get a little overserved.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
fine.
know.
Everybody's nervous.
Yeah.
And I do
It is
wonder,
nervous. It's the first one. You're still getting to know everyone. Take the edge off.
I do wonder if maybe that could have been a factor here with Carly.
I mean, the tears alone. Listen, I've been that girl.
Mhm.
I mean, I haven't screamed
Yeah.
like that, but I have gone to the immediate tears when overserved. Like, and she was crying like immediately. So,
Mhm.
and like, it's not to say that that would be the only reason she would cry, but the crying that quickly turned to anger and yelling,
Mhm.
that is more so the telltale sign,
Maybe. Okay.
I don't know for sure. I didn't see her goblet. I don't know if she even had a goblet,
We don't know.
but it's a possibility. It is a possibility here.
Mhm. So, what a great premiere.
It was incredible. I'm so pleased with it. It delivered. Um, I love Franklin.
Yes. Oh, we didn't
And
even talk about the Jonases.
but like, I just think as hosts, like, it's like campy enough that, like, it's like a little corny, but like they bring enough to the show that, like, their presence there matters to me. And Franklin especially is just like so enthusiastic, and you can tell like this is just such a joyful experience for him. I
Mhm.
love that. It's just like such a positive energy that I really, really enjoy. And like their little like quips with each other, it's fun. Okay, like, yes, we spend a lot of time like, dissecting clues and stuff like that, but like there's just like a silly,
Yeah.
fun lightness to
In
this
2 weeks,
show.
we'll know who everybody is, and
We
it's
will.
still gonna have fun.
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was really, really fun. It was a really good premiere. And like you said, even before we got the Carly exit in its full capacity, I was pleased. I was like, what a great premiere. And it was just like,
Yeah.
it blew the
So
top
good.
off.
So good. All
Yeah.
right. Go to robswebsite.com/fame feed to make sure you're locked in for our coverage all season long. We will be back in a 1 week's time, so that we will be back to talk with you after next Monday's episode. Of course, everything else we have going on here on Rob Has a Podcast, including my latest postseason interview with Carolyn Uyghur. We just found out the
It's not Weiger.
pronunciation of her name. You can catch that and much more. Be sure to check out also my, if you want more, even more Forrest Gump talk. But 2 weeks ago, Akiva Winokur and I did a full Forrest Gump movie commentary on Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast. You can watch along with us as we see Carly's uncle
Doing
win
it
an
all.
Oscar.
On
Okay?
the freaking bench.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Jenny, what's coming up for you?
I get a busier week than usual. Well, like we mentioned earlier, join us tomorrow night for the RHAP Survivor Brand Steel. It's been announced I am a part of the cast. I don't know how far I will make it because it's a brand steal. I have no idea what'll happen. So that'll be tomorrow, and we still have Stars on Mars. Don't forget the Stars on Mars.
Oh,
Check
yeah.
out
Later
Hit or
on this
Quit.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched it yet because my
We're
attention was
podcasting.
turned to Claim to Fame. Sorry.
Yep.
To
Sorry.
Shaddy Daddy. I'll catch up with you
Yeah.
in due time. But that's been really fun. So check that out over on the Hit or Quit feed. And I might be popping by for a little bit of Big Brother related content later in the week.
Okay. All right. So
I don't know if people know what's happening.
people know we've been doing Big
but I don't know
Brother.
if they know the topic.
Let's see. Sam Moore says you could say it if you want. Okay.
Yeah, we will be drafting first boots.
Put Carly on the list. Take her
On Big Brother first boots.
An
But put her on Big
iconic
Brother.
first
I would
boot. Or
happily
iconic
have
first
that.
boot. Yes.
So that will be on Thursday evening. So yeah, more packed schedule for me than usual. I'm having a great time. Lots of fun in reality TV right now. So I'm feeling #blessed. I'm so happy Claim to Fame is back. Like, it was literally such a joyful experience watching this, and I had a really great time doing this live with you tonight.
Fun
Rob,
for all. Yeah, this was
and thank
a good
you,
one.
chat. Thank you, live viewers, for coming by. It was really good.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here for Claim to Fame. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say. And of course, we appreciate your feedback and star ratings when you go to robhaswebsite.com/famefeed. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.